subscribe to the channel today.
These studies acknowledge me, honestly, put the seat back in the Odyssey, Prodigy, little mama wanna suck and just swallow me, watch time.
Welcome to the Check-In Report. I am your humble host, True and Livin', and this is the Check-In Report. Today's topic, we are here to talk about Rick Ross and his whole kerfluffle, his whole issue with the Christian rapper named Dee-1 after he receives some criticism from the rapper. You know, the Christian rapper known as Dee-1, shout out to that man, he's from Louisiana, criticized Rick Ross, Meek Mill, Jim Jones for promoting violence to the youth, for promoting, you know, debauchery, for promoting, you know, just poison, ultimately to the black community at large. And, you know, we're going to play the video of Dee-1 from Louisiana and Rick Ross. Rick Ross, he's, you know, he's stunting and fronting, styling and profiling. He's talking about he gave 20,000 turkeys out. We're going to break down some scripture. We have to get down to some scripture because there's a big misconception, you know, with a lot of these celebrities who, you know, do a lot for the camera. You know, they pull up to the school, you know, of course they got the cameras out, following them wherever they go. They're giving out 20,000 turkeys. They're giving out, you know, 100 backpacks. You know, they're giving out, you know, all these things to the community while the camera's in their face. Keep in mind that camera's in their face. And really, are they helping, or is this just a tax write-off? Let's really talk about it. Are they really helping the community? Are they really trying to do something positive for the community? Or is it just for the clout? Is it just for, you know, for the views, for the general perception? Because there's a big misconception with, you know, doing all of these things while the camera's pointed in your face. What are they doing behind closed doors? We're going to get into that later. But let's ultimately get to the video that started this whole thing of Dee-1. If you guys are coming into the stream, shout out to you. This is the Check-In Report. So let's get to the video of Dee-1. Here it goes. Dee-1, and we're gonna get to his thoughts, and we're gonna, you know, comment. But let's play the video that ultimately started this whole thing between Rick Ross and rapper Dee-1.
Better, brother. I love you too much. I love you too much to not be honest with you. Rick Ross, you could do better, brother. Meek Mill, you could do better, brother. I love you too much not to be honest with you. Are you the face of prison reform? Cause are you the face of prison reform? Or are you sitting here on your new song with Ross talking about getting somebody murked and shot at the red light? Which one is it, bro?
So pretty much he's calling out Rick Ross and Meek Mills, you know, talking about the hypocrisy, talking about how, you know, we got one guy who's trying to be the face of prison reform, but he's on a new track talking about murking someone. He's on a new track talking about deleting someone ultimately. And, you know, Dee-1, a Christian rapper, a man who is, you know, a proud believer and, you know, in Christ, you know, he takes issue with Jim Jones, Rick Ross, and Meek Mills ultimately promoting violence to the youth. Let's continue.
Which one is it, bro? Because I did a shoe giveaway in my city and gave out 1,300 pairs of your shoes because they said reform underneath them. And I love that you partnered with a major shoe company and you out here pushing prison reform. But now I got to sit here like, man, this man glorifying getting people killed as of a week ago. Like, what are you doing, bro? Lil Snoop really got killed. That broke your heart. You wear him around your neck. Why are you glorifying the same thing? The rap game, hip hop industry is great at cooking up some delicious poison. I don't call you out because I got to not be honest with you.
Now, this is the second video that I want to get into of him talking.
There you go.
That's what it is, bro. And so if anybody feel bad about being called out, it's like let's talk. Let's talk about it and and let's just figure out what we can do better. But at the end of the day, guess what's not changing? The word of God ain't changing.
Okay.
There's death and life in the power of the tongue, Proverbs 18 and 21. That's not changing. And trying with this foolish argument that it's just entertainment, this ain't real. How many more people gotta die in the hood, man? How many people at the end of the day lives gotta get ruined and poisoned, and how many rappers gotta get killed for us to be like, come on, man? When it's hip-hop, it's a whole culture, and it's implied that this is autobiographical and this is non-fiction tales that people are telling. How much does that have to happen? So don't hit me with that. People just don't want to confront the reality of this stuff, man.
And I think that he was quite eloquent what he was saying, the message that he was trying to invoke. We have to stop with this narrative, and I think I'm going to piggyback on what he said, and I think what he said was quite eloquent. We have to stop with this narrative that is just entertainment. A lot of rappers throughout time have said, "Oh, this is just entertainment. This is just what it is," and they talk about how they're reporting or what's going on in the neighborhoods. But are they really doing that, or are they just pushing poison? These are three men, respectfully, Rick Ross, Jim Jones, Meek Mill. This is three men who aren't living that lifestyle currently. They're not living the lifestyles of gangsters and drug dealers and, them dudes that are on the block committing criminal activities. These dudes live in gated communities. Kids go to private school. You know what I mean? Beautiful homes. White neighbors. Don't forget about the white neighbors. White neighborhood, all white neighborhood. They're probably the only black person that lives in their respective neighborhoods. Meek Mill, Jim Jones, and Rick Ross. They're probably the only black person, a person of color that lives in their neighborhood. They're surrounded by doctors, dentists, lawyers, music execs. But when they get in that studio, when they get in that recording booth, they are pushing the poison, pushing the venom into the minds and into the hearts of the black youth. Now let's get ultimately to Rick Ross's, what he had to say, because I thought what he said was kind of loony. But let's get into what Rick Ross had to say in terms of Dee-1. So this is Rick Ross's response to Dee-1, rapper out of Louisiana, Christian rapper. Let's get to his thoughts.
You could do better, Jim Jones. You could do better, Rick Ross. You could do better. I gotta see you do better. Wait. Little man, whoever you is, until you feed the kids where you from for 20 years straight. Don't question Rose. Wait. Until you buy 10,000 bikes, 10,000 trikes. Give all the young girls who pregnant Pampers for Christmas for 20 years straight. Don't question boss. You heard me, little man? Get that basket off your head so you could think clear, little man. You going viral for speaking on niggas' names, not because of your talent, not because of your gift. Go viral, player, off of your wisdom that you sharing. You speaking on that? Yeah, Meek Mill. You said, you know how many niggas died this summer? They released self-destruction. This niggas dying right now. It's gonna be niggas don't make it to see in the morning. Get that basket off your head, boy, and come together with real niggas around the world. So when your grandma need a kidney, nigga.
So he's running off the rails about, how he gave away 20,000 turkeys and he gave away, a bunch of shoes. He did it for 20 years, right? He's running all of this off, but it's like, Rick Ross, so pretty much what you're trying to say is you're the Nino Brown of the neighborhood, right? Because that's what Nino Brown did, right? That's what Nino Brown did. What did Nino Brown do? Nino Brown, he sold, drugs to the community. He brought the community down, but he still pulled up with a bunch of turkeys and gave them out. He still made sure the kids had brand new school, sneakers for the summer and for the school season. So is that what you're trying to tell us, Rick Ross, that you're the neighborhood, you're the new Nino Brown? You're bragging about, all the turkeys you gave out. You gave out turkeys for one Thanksgiving. Big whoop, Rick Ross. You're pushing poison to the black youth. You're rapping about selling off work, getting somebody smoked. You're not giving kids the keys. Why you not teaching these kids financial literacy? Why you not teaching these kids about good credit? Why you not teaching these kids how to be businessmen, Rick Ross? You own about 100 wing stops. Why you not teaching these kids how to own a wing stop? To be a CEO. Your whole career has been based off of you being this fake, drug runner. When the lie detector test determined that was a lie, you're a CEO. Do we have to pull that up? Rick Ross, CEO. Rick Ross, correction officer. My fault, not CEO. Rick Ross, corrections officer. Do we have to pull that up? Maybe we should. Come on, correction officer. You're the same guy, pushing this narrative of, that you were some type of drug kingpin and you did this crime and you did that crime and it was hard growing up in Carroll City and you were on the block with the work. When the lie detector test determined that was a lie, you was a CEO. You was a correction officer. Officer Ricky. Remember when 50 used to do that? Officer Ricky. Your career has been based off of a lie. But what do you do when you get in that recording booth, Rick Ross? What do you do when you get in that recording booth? You start pushing the poison. You start telling kids about some drug past that you had, that you never had because you was a squeaky clean, corrections officer. And you tried to hide it for a manner of, a lot of years. Then it finally came out where, you pretty much had to, you had to admit it. But your whole career has been based on a lie. But you want the kids to crash out. You want kids to become the victims of the streets while you're preaching about, I gave out 20,000 turkeys. Well, you gave out 20,000 turkeys with a camera in your face. You gave out backpacks with a camera in your face. You did all these things, but I'm not mad at you. I'm happy that you were able to do it. But you did it all. Did you do it from the kindness of your heart? Or did you do it based off of a tax write-off, Rick Ross? When you're trying to write off some taxes, when you're trying to, itemize some of those things, some of those donations, when you sat down and did your taxes, did you tell the person that did your taxes, hey, I gave out, 100 backpacks, I gave out 20,000 turkeys, because, let's be honest, Rick Ross, let's be honest. That's what it was. It was something to write off on your taxes. You wasn't doing it out of the kindness of your heart. It wasn't because you had love and respect for the people and you were looking out. You was trying to write off some taxes. But let's get back to, let me just play that one more time from him. He talking about 20,000 on turkeys, 100,000 on shoes for the kids. Let's continue.
You want to go viral? I'm going to show you how to go viral, little man. But go viral feeding them kids in your hood. Go viral giving them bikes away. Go viral Christmas time. Now, don't be saying, Jim Jones just gave away goddamn 6 figures worth of clothes in his hood. And you a nigga who talking. Looking vegan, knowing you eat more goddamn Piggly Wiggly bacon than any other nigga out here. Shut up. Meek Mill, you could do better. Jim Jones, you could do better.
One more time.
Raw, you could do better. I gotta see you do better. Wait. Little man, whoever you is, until you feed the kids where you from for 20 years straight. Don't question Rose. Wait. Wait until you buy 10,000 bikes, 10,000 trikes. Give all the young girls who pregnant Pampers for Christmas for 20 years straight. Don't question boss. You heard me, little man? Get that basket off your head so you could think clear, little man. You going viral for speaking on niggas' names, not because of your talent, not because of your gift. Go viral, player, off of your wisdom that you sharing. You speaking on that, yeah, Meek Mill, you just, boy, you know how many niggas died this summer, they released self-destruction? It's niggas dying right now. It's gonna be niggas don't make it to see in the morning. Get that basket off your head, boy, and come together with real niggas around the world. So when your grandma need a kidney, nigga, since you wanna go viral, I'm gonna show you how to go viral, little man, but go viral feeding them kids in your hood. Go viral giving them bikes away. Go viral Christmas time. Now, don't be saying Jim Jones just gave away goddamn 6 figures worth of clothes.
Jim Jones just gave away 6 figures of True Religion jeans and, old school biker gear that he used to wear back in 2006. Let's be real here. Let's be real here.
Those in his hood, and you a nigga who talking. Looking vegan, knowing you eat more goddamn Piggly Wiggly bacon than any other nigga out here. Shut up.
Now let's get to Dee-1's. Dee-1 had to respond back to Rick Ross. So let's get to his thoughts.
Ross! First of all, I love you, brother, and I want you to know that because you sounded a little upset in your video reply to me. But I love you too much to not be honest with you. And right now, you're deflecting. I was talking about your lyrical content, and you talking about turkeys. I'm talking about you as a hip-hop OG still glorifying murder and drug dealing in your music. And you talking about turkeys? Bro, more people are streaming your music than eating your turkeys. You can believe that, brother. Oh, then you can make fun of my accent and my hair, brother. That's lightweight, you hear me? What am I doing to help my community? Well, my whole adult life, I've been a middle school teacher. Now I'm a full-time hip-hop artist. Just dropped my 10th album. It's called Uno. You should check it out, actually. I've helped to give out hundreds of thousands of dollars in college scholarships for students around this country. Done financial literacy tours year after year, brother. Shoe drives, toy drives, voter registration rallies, prison ministry. I'm currently a professor at Tufts University teaching the intersection of hip-hop and social change, and I'm a fellow at Harvard University. Ultimately, I'm just trying my best to do God's work in this industry, bro. Then you say, won't I go viral with my own content? Brother, you a little late to the party. I've been successful for a while, man, and not having to glorify the things that's harmful to our community. Could you do that? I'm curious. Bro, I work with some of the same artists as you. The Game, Lupe, Big Crit, Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Currency, Kevin Gates, Sway, Charlamagne. These people know me, man. So as black men, let's do our best to do God's work and not glorify what's holding us down, man.
And ultimately, what I want to say is, I lean more on the side of Dee-1. I really do. I lean more on the side of Dee-1's because ultimately he has a point. You got these dudes that are, in their 40s. Jim Jones, Rick Ross, Meek Mills. These dudes are almost half a century old. And they're still pushing the poison. Still making it seem like they're outside, they're active, they're doing this, they're doing that. When in reality, these men aren't doing this type of thing. They're not outside. And Dee-1, he sees through the facade. He sees through the nonsense, of a Jim Jones. He sees through the nonsense of a Meek Mills, running around with that narrative that, I'm outside, I'm a gangster, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. It's a facade. And, they could be taking that opportunity while they still have the young men that want to listen, the young men that, buy their albums, listen to their albums. They could take that opportunity and change a life. They could get one of these kids out of the streets. They could change the overall mindset. But no, they don't choose to do that. They continue to push the poison because the poison sells. Instead of changing the narrative. I think at this point in their careers, they should be doing things that serve the community. They're doing things that serves their bottom line. They don't care. Rick Ross, Meek Mills, Jim Jones, they do not care about the community. They don't care about a young black kid losing their life because they want to crash out or for, you know, some of the things that these guys rap about. These dudes don't want to take any responsibility. They don't want to take any accountability. And that's overall what Dee-1 is speaking about. He's speaking about the overall lack of accountability and pushing the poison to the community. Why can't we as men pick up the pieces, do better, change the narrative of the gangster rapper? Like I said, these men are in their 40s. Still rapping about how they're active and they're outside and I'm gonna get somebody clapped at the club, and like, dog, grow up. I mean, these dudes are they're about to be grandfathers, senior citizens. These dudes, I mean, like, honestly, like when they was doing it in their 20s, their teenage years, cool. But why can't you take this opportunity at this stage in your life, at this stage in your career, while you're emmed up? Most of these dudes are claim to be bosses, claim to be making money, claim to, I'm not making money off rap. I make money off my businesses. Why can't you take this opportunity to change a young black kid's life, mindset, perspective? Rick Ross could be teaching kids how to become businessmen like him. Meek Mill could be, doing the same. Jim Jones could be doing the same, but they're not doing that. They're pushing the poison into the community. They have no accountability for what they're doing, what they're talking about, what they're speaking about. And ultimately, that's what Dee-1 is pretty much trying to get at. Now, let's play that one more time from him.
Rick Ross! First of all, I love you, brother, and I want you to know that because you sounded a little upset in your video reply to me. But I love you too much to not be honest with you. And right now, you're deflecting. I was talking about your lyrical content, and you talking about turkeys. I'm talking...
Exactly. Let me just stop him right there. Because he rambled off about the turkeys and... I gave out this amount of turkeys. I gave out this amount of backpacks. When in reality, dog, it's not about the 20K turkeys that you gave out one time, once in a year, that you probably wrote off on your taxes. It's not about the giving away the backpacks when the school season started, because you probably wrote that off on your taxes as well. It's not about that. It's about you using your voice to change the narrative, change the perspective, change the mindset of these kids. They're not doing that. They're sitting back, allowing these kids to go to war with each other, to shoot one another, to delete one another. They want, they're just pushing lyrics to create the narrative of black on black crime, create the narrative of, we're at war with each other. I'm going to delete you. I'm going to, that's what they're pushing. All negative aspects of black life. In Dee-1, he's pretty much calling it out. It's not about the turkeys that you're giving out. It's not about all of that nonsense that you're speaking about. Why aren't you using your voice to change the narrative? Let's continue.
About you as a hip-hop OG still glorifying murder and drug dealing in your music, and you talking about turkeys? Bro, more people are streaming your music than eating your turkeys. You can believe that, brother. And
that's a fact. That's a fact. The man gave out turkeys for one Thanksgiving, and he wants everybody to throw a parade for him in the streets with confetti and wing stops. Lemon pepper wings, throw them in the air like confetti. Like, what do you want, Rick Ross? Cool, you gave out turkeys. But why aren't you changing the narrative for the young kids?
Then you can make fun of my accent and my hair, brother. That's lightweight, you hear me? What am I doing to help my community? Well, my whole adult life, I've been a middle school teacher. Now I'm a full-time hip-hop artist. Just dropped my 10th album. It's called Uno. You should check it out, actually. I've helped to give out hundreds of thousands of dollars in college scholarships for students around this country. Done financial literacy tours year after year, brother. Shoe drives, toy drives, voter registration rallies, prison ministry. I'm currently a professor at Tufts University teaching the intersection of hip-hop and social change, and I'm a fellow at Harvard University. Ultimately, I'm just trying my best to do God's work in this industry, bro. Then you say, won't I go viral with my own content? Brother, you a little late to the party. I've been successful for a while, man, and not having to glorify the things that's harmful to our community. Could you?
He's speaking about it because, you know, that's what these dudes do. They glorify the criminal aspect of black life. They glorify the nonsense, the debauchery. Like, why are you rapping about getting someone off that are light at this stage in your career? Why aren't you rapping about, you know, affluent black communities? Black people being businessmen. I mean, this is what they're rapping about, the nonsense, the negative aspect of black life.
Do that? I'm curious. Bro, I work with some of the same artists as you. The Game, Lupe, Big Crit, Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Currency, Kevin Gates, Sway, Charlamagne. These people know me, man. So as black men, let's do our best to do God's work and not glorify what's holding us down, man. Rick Ross.
And I agree. I agree with the man wholeheartedly. Just like I said, you know, I lean more so on the side of Dee-1. I think, you know, he brought up great points. He brought up a lot of great points, man. And ultimately, I thought it was critical importance to talk about this whole thing. I'm still dealing with a cold, so just forgive me for my voice and whatnot. I'm still trying to soldier through this cold, and I'm still coughing up phlegm, and just give me a little bit of a break, y'all. But ultimately, I wanted to get to this passage, this Bible passage, you know, because, you know, Dee-1 is a Christian man, so I thought it was important for me to, you know, read this passage in lieu of what, you know, Rick Ross was yammering about, you know, the 20,000 turkeys and the, you know, I thought it was important to read this passage. Now, this comes from Matthew 6:1. This is the word of God here. This is Christ talking, actually, because we're in Matthew. This is in the New Testament. This is Christ talking, right? Take heed that ye do not your alms. Now, alms, let me explain to you what alms are. Alms is like, you know, what you give to someone that's poor, like, you know, a portion of money. It's actually, you know, or I actually have it up here. Alms is on her historical context, it's money or food given to poor people. So that's what alms are. So when you see the word alms, that's what it is. It's money or food given to poor people, right? So take heed that ye do not your alms before men, to be seen of them. Otherwise, ye have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. So, you know, just to break that down, you know, a lot of these celebrities, just that first, you know, passage right there, a lot of these celebrities, you know, they do these things in, you know, in the camera, just, you know, hey guys, look, I just gave away all these turkeys at the at the drive. I just gave away, you know, 100 backpacks at this drive. But, you know, are they really doing it in the spirit of giving and in love, or are they just doing it for the clout? Because, you know, if you're constantly doing this for the camera, constantly doing this, and then you're writing it off on your taxes, that's not doing it in the spirit of giving. Shout out to Trenches. I see you in here. Trenches says, but why won't this guy speak up about people like NBA Youngboy, not Meek and Rick Ross? There's the last hope to real hip hop left in this game. I think that ultimately, you know, Dee-1 is speaking about Rick Ross and Meek Mills because, you know, they pretty much, you know, I guess, you know, they're popping right now. They have a new record out. So I'm guessing that's probably why he chose to speak about these men, because, you know, ultimately these dudes, they have a record out and, you know, they're promoting it. So I'm guessing that's why he wanted to talk about these two guys. But, you know, you know what D1 is saying, you could really, you could put that to anybody in the game. I mean, there's a lot of rappers that are promoting this, that are promoting the, they want to promote death and destruction to the black community, but they want to pull up to the hood with a bunch of backpacks and and turkeys and act like it's all gravy. But in reality, it's they just want to push poison. They just want to push poison, and they want their record labels to pay them for the pushing of the poison. I see we got a couple people in here. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Now let's get back to this verse, right? Because I think this is of critical importance that we get to this verse. Therefore, when thou doest thine alms, again, we spoke about what alms are. Alms are money and food given to the poor. So therefore, when thou doest thine alms, do not sound the trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and in the streets, that they may have glory of men. Verily I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou doest alms, let not thy left hand know what the right hand doeth. Let me read this last portion right here, because I want to make sure it's on the screen when I do read it, because it's of critical importance that we do. Hold on. I want to make sure this is hold on, y'all. I just want to make sure this is on the screen being properly seen. Okay, it's seen. All right. Just this last part. I'm at the bottom. I'm actually at the 4th line. It says, I'm on verse 4, that thy alms may be in secret, and thy Father which seeth in secret himself shall reward thee openly. Right? So in this verse, it's pretty much stating that, when you do things of, random acts of kindness, when you pull up to the school and you give away maybe you're giving away backpacks, or maybe you're giving away turkeys, or maybe when you're giving a homeless person some money, you're not supposed to be having a camera in your face. You're not supposed to be telling the world, hey guys, I just gave all this money to this organization, or I gave all this, I gave all these foods and backpacks and turkeys to this homeless person. Hey guys, look at me, record me. Look at me doing this for this person that's disenfranchised. You're not supposed to be doing that. You are supposed to be doing random acts of kindness in secret. So the Father, the Most High, can reward you for that, not with a camera in your face, not with TMZ, not with the MMG TV, YouTube in your face. That's what a lot of these rappers do. And they try to hide behind that. They quick to tell you how, oh, I gave away this amount of backpacks and I did this for the community and I did that for the community. But in reality, it's like, dog, okay, yeah, you gave out the turkeys. Okay, yeah, you gave out the backpacks. But for the last, 15, 20 years, you've been preaching about, destruction and killing in our communities. That's what you've been rapping about. That's what you've been pushing. That's the poison. And I think, in my opinion, that far outweighs any of the good that you tried to do. Because if you're constantly sitting on a record, you're constantly sitting on an album, talking about how you're going to off this person and delete this person, and you're going to send a hit to this person, and you rap about drugging women, and you're rapping about all these debauchery and unrighteous and foul things to be doing, but you're not pushing any positivity, then we got to be honest, because you're pushing a lot of poison. And just because you pull up, with a couple turkeys and want to act like it's all gravy when it's not. 20,000 turkeys. Okay, Rick Ross, you pulled up with 20,000 turkeys one Thanksgiving. Why aren't you out there? Why aren't you out there every day giving away those turkeys? Why aren't you doing it in secrecy? These dudes just want to, they want all the praise. They want all the honor. They want to be recorded while they're doing these good deeds. But in reality, these dudes are just writing it off on their taxes. They're just trying to get a tax break. You know, they just bought they bought 3 Rolls Royces, bought a new property out in Georgia. You know, they spent all this money. They made a lot of money this year. So let me go pull up to the hood and drop off 20,000 turkeys. I can write that off on my taxes. Let me go to this poor school in the hood and let me give away 200 backpacks. I can write that off on my taxes. That's what these dudes are doing. And you're not low. We see you. Because there's people out here that are really doing the work, and they're not doing it to be seen. They're not doing it for the glory. They're not doing it to be, to be looked at, and so people could, so they can get the clout for the good deed of the day. They're doing it out of the genuineness of their heart, the goodness of their heart. They're doing it out of love. And Dee-1 sees through the nonsense. He sees through the fake. And I am happy that he called it out. And he pretty much said, it's not about you giving away, 40,000, 20,000 backpacks or whatever. There's nonsense. High Times, take your zesty behind to the barbershop. High Times, how about this? I got an idea for you, bro. How about I pack you up? I'll pack you up, all right? I don't have a problem packing anybody up, all right? Let me pack you up, man. There you go. Let's pack you up, man. You won't be disrespecting me in my chat, man. I just packed you up out of here. How about that, man? Now you take your zesty behind up out of my chat. How about that? You get packed up in here, man. Now what you say, Trenches? Let me see what you had said. Yeah, what Trenches says, contradiction at its finest. I agree. A lot of contradiction. These dudes, they sashay around. They want people to, hey, I'm doing this in the community. I'm doing that in the community. When all the while, what you're doing is just pushing, nonsense. You're pushing the BS in the community. You're not pushing, anything, eloquent in the community. You're not pushing anything positive in the community. These dudes are just a detriment to the community. In all reality, they are a detriment to the community. And I'm glad for Dee-1. Dee-1 called it like he is. He called it how he sees it. And we can't allow these people to continually do this. Again, forgive me. I'm still dealing with a cold, but ultimately, guys, I just want to come with a stream and just talk about this whole Dee-1 and Rick Ross. I saw that they were clapping at one another, talking about one another. I thought it was of critical importance to talk about that. Shout out to Trenches, and shout out to High Times. I packed you up, but shout out to you. Yeah, nobody's gonna be talking crazy to me in my chat, man. I gotta pack you up. You're not gonna be talking crazy to the moderators, and you're not gonna be talking crazy to me in here. But ultimately, Rick Ross, Meek Mills, they need to take more accountability for their lyrical content. They need to take more accountability for what they push in the communities at large. These are two men with, big voices. People listen to them. People pay attention to them. People idolize them. People look up to them. Some people consider these two men role models. But what are they doing? They're talking about getting someone clapped at the light. Let me see if I still have that. Hold on. Let me see if I can just pull that lyric up real quick. Let me see if I can just pull that up. Just give me a second. Let me just see if I can pull it up. I think I still have that lyric. I think I still have it. Let me just pull this Meek Mill lyric from I think the song is called Lyrical Easy. Let me just pull that lyric up, see if I can find it. Let me see. Is it here? I know what I can do. Hold on. I'll try a different way. Yeah, I just pull it up a different way. But I have to pull up that lyric. That lyric is like, is this it? I think this is it. Oh, I think I got it. Hold on. Yeah, I think I got it. But that lyric was just nonsense, man. These are two men in their 40s rapping about getting someone clapped. Like, dog, like, when does hip hop grow up? That's my question. When does hip hop take accountability for all of the black lives? I mean, honestly, from the King Vons to the Little Snoops, Meek Mill's Mans, to the Pop Smokes, to the Stack Bundles, to the Tupacs, to the Biggies, to the Big L's. When does hip hop take accountability? When do we realize that this whole violence and this whole, criminal aspect, when do we start to veer away from it? When do we start, realizing that, a lot of these things that, people were rapping about, listen, when I don't judge rappers that were, young and doing it. Like, I can't judge a 25-year-old, Meek Mills rapping about, crime and stuff like that and criminal aspects, because he's just getting out of that life. I can't judge. Shout out to Reese. Reese, I had to pack somebody up today, man. Somebody by the name of High Times. That was the first time I packed somebody up. But yeah, we had to pack somebody up today, man. But glad to see you checked in. But when do we, get away from that whole narrative, man? It's like, it's crazy. Now, let's read Mr. Meek Mill's rhymes, because I just had to make sure this was him again, because this is what they're pushing in the community right now. This is what they're pushing. They're pushing this narrative in the community as we speak, right? Now, let's read these bars from Mr. Meek Mill. Meek Millie, King of Philly. Let's read these bars. Okay. Deletion on my mind. I can't say that word. Deletion on my mind. I've been up all night. Two bad chicks trying to F all night. Heard he was in the club. He had to duck all night. I told him catch him at the let out. Shoot his truck on sight. This is what they're rapping about. Rick Ross is over here talking about we gave out 20,000 turkeys. We gave out 200 backpacks. Yeah, keep in mind, they probably got the cheap backpacks. They probably didn't lace the kids with a Jan Sport backpack or like a nice little Nike backpack. It was probably like the cheap ones you get in the Dollar Tree. Gave the kids a bunch of, you remember when people used to go school shopping? Your mom was in a rush, but she ain't had the time to go get you like the nice school supplies. They might go to Dollar Tree, get all your school supplies. So all your folders and binders were from Dollar Tree, and they would break real easily. Like they wasn't like from the Staples or nothing like that. That's probably what they did. They probably laced the kids with a bunch of cheap, school supplies and cheap backpacks. And look what they're rapping about. They gave away 20,000 turkeys, 100 backpacks, but they're rapping about getting someone clapped in the neighborhood. They're rapping about deleting someone. But I'm a proponent of the justice reform. I'm an activist, and I want to get people less time. This is what they're rapping about. It's crazy. Yeah, man. Reese, man. Where you at, man? I needed y'all, man. I had to pack up somebody, man. He was talking crazy. He talking about, he said something about, you sound like you're in the barbershop. I had to pack him up real quick, man. I had to put him in timeout real quick. Yeah, man. He was talking crazy, man. Yeah, man. But ultimately, I just feel like Meek Mills and Rick Ross, they need to take more accountability, bro. I mean, these dudes is half a century. Like, let me look up Let me look up these dudes' ages real quick. Hold on. Extended show. Hold on. Let me look up these dudes' ages. Cause Rick Ross, he gotta be almost 50. Age. Rick Ross is almost a half a century old, bro. This man is he's almost 50. He's rapping about getting dudes offed. He's rapping about, dudes like, when do you grow up? When do you step away from that type of, content? Let's get to Meek Mills. Meek Mills is 36. I think that's cap. I think that's cap. I don't think Meek Mills is 36. I think Meek Mills is like 38. I think that's cap. Cause celebrities, they lie about their age. Let's go to Jim Jones. Jim Jones' age. Jim Jones the same age as Rick Ross. These dudes is like 50. Dudes is like 50 years old. They're talking about, hey man, we about to pull up and do this drill. Hey man, we about to do this. Hey man, we about to do that. Like, dog, stop it. Just stop it. Stop with the nonsense. Stop with the, preaching this nonsense in the communities, man. Stop doing that. They still think it's okay to rap like that, man. They still think it's okay to push that. Somebody needs to, pretty much let them know that, it's a new time, man. I think, more is asked of rappers today. I think more, you got a lot of kids that look up to these dudes and they still want to, push the nonsense. Hey, we shooting up the block and all this nonsense, man. It's time to wisen up. It is time to wisen up. And that's my thoughts today. I just want to come in and give you guys a quick stream. I'm still dealing with a cold, man. That's why I ain't been really on live lately. But I just want to come with a quick stream with you guys, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Even shout out to High Times. I had to remove him. I thought he was talking a little too slick today. My patience weighing thin on him today, but shout out to High Times, man. I hope I didn't like kick you off my subscriber list. You just talking a little too slick today, man. A little too slick, man. But it's all good, man. But shout out to Reese, shout out to Trenches. Yeah, man. But we're gonna close it out tonight, man. Y'all have a good night, man. But Meek Mills and Rick Ross, it's time to grow the fuck. Let me not curse, but it's time to grow up. All right. But y'all have a good night, man. I'll catch y'all on another stream. Toodles.
Repping the road, foreign guys with my name on their toes. These studies acknowledge me, honestly, put the seat back and I see Prodigy, little mama wanna suck in the swallow me, wax ties.
Welcome to the Check-in Report. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel today.